Hi, this is Margo. This is Thursday evening, July 18th, 2019, 7:07 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. I'm not feeling well and was in a few toxic environments today, and so my voice is very hoarse, but I would like to do just a very short earthquake update just to show what's going on, because the Ring of Fire, this northern edge, is on fire, it looks like. And if you'll look at sulfur dioxide over on cams, you'll see some shocking things. I did a video this morning and it's posted for my members on Subscribestar, talking about the sulfur dioxide and how it's the key to everything. And the sulfur dioxide levels are shocking, and I've been following them for a while now, but my voice is not in shape to even go over that now. So for $5 a month you can support me on Subscribestar and see my private videos and private posts and public posts that I put up. You can also get an email in your inbox every time I do a post. You also have the ability to private message with me. You can leave comments under the videos, and it's just a real nice platform, a real nice way for us to look at the data without any interference over there. And also to have a spiritual community as well. So first of all, we're showing 887 earthquakes worldwide right now for all magnitudes. Of those, 62 or 2.5 magnitude or higher. So let's zoom into our event area and see how many are down here today. We can see it's continuing to spread out, and so in the event area, it's right in here in Southern California. We've got 648 right now. Now this morning I took a screenshot, and I'm going to close that. I took a screenshot at 9:17 this morning, and there were 711 earthquakes in the area and 914 earthquakes worldwide. Now it's been 2 weeks since the event started, and in those 2 weeks I have documented 16,203 earthquakes in this area in 2 weeks, and this is day 14. So it's not stopping. 7:11 this morning, now it's down to 648. So it's fluctuating about 50, within a 50 range, and still see them going up this line here and clustering up in Coso and moving out north and over to the east, into the even to the west, into the mountains, and east over near Trona. And I think we had a 4 something there today. Let's see, I saw a 4. This is the 2.5 magnitude and higher screen. Here's a 4.6 at Coso Junction. That came in last night at 8:59. That was after I did my show. And the rest are 3s and 2.5. 2.5 and higher. But that's the only 4 today. Right there. So let's get going, because I need to rest. So 63, 2.5 magnitude or higher, and it looks like we can start wherever we want. And you can see these red dots, they're coming in. Now I'd like to start over here in the South Pacific. We've got a 4.7 near Panguna, Papua New Guinea. I'm not going to call out the times. 4.1 Laiwui, Indonesia. 5.3 Ternate, Indonesia. We've had 2 here at the Philippines, a 4.9 near Carrascal, and a 4.8 on land at Adelaide. So that's definitely showing movement there. Let's see if any of them were real deep. The steepest one was this 4.7, was 152 kilometers deep. Coming on up, so we saw all of those. Then coming on up, here's a 4.8 Izu Islands, Japan. Now what's interesting is in my video that I put up this morning for my members on Subscribestar, I showed from cams surface level sulfur dioxide coming up all these places where you're seeing these earthquakes. It was also coming up in the last week over here off the coast of United States in these different areas, and also all these different places where you're seeing earthquakes in the Aleutian Islands, over here and here by Kamchatka, here near Alaska, but also here on this Cascadia subduction zone. And then we've got extreme sulfur dioxide and arm going from Northern California all the way across, and it is very, very spooky. And I have a theory, but I'm not going to discuss it here because I don't want to be trolled and I don't want to be shut down. I don't want to lose my channel, and it's that shocking to see it. And so that's why I created the other channel, or the other platform. But time is short, and it is so short, you don't have any idea how short it is. So here we've got a 5.1 in the Kuril Islands and a 4.7 in the Kuril Islands. And this is very near the Raikoki volcano that went off right here. It's right here on June 21st and 22nd that blew up. Hadn't blown up in 95 years, and that's what started all the sulfur dioxide, but there are other sources of it now. There's stuff adding to it. Here's one off the coast of Kamchatka, 4.7. Now notice these are all on this northern ridge. So so that's all on over there. And we just had one come in, 4.4 near Tekirova, Turkey. That just came in the Mediterranean Sea there. Here in Guatemala was Mexico, a 5.0 near Frontera, Hidalgo, Mexico. Came in this morning. Then in South America, This one just came in at 4.9 at Uyuni, Bolivia, and a 4.2 at Belén, Argentina. That one was 167 kilometers deep. And this one in Bolivia was 189 kilometers deep. So, I want to go back up to this Aleutian Island chain here and kind of focus on this area where I was seeing the sulfur dioxide, and now all the earthquakes happening right where the releases are. And sulfur dioxide is the key to seeing what's going on, because anytime you have a crack in the plate or any movement of tectonic plates, it's sulfur dioxide that's going to be popping up that we're going to be able to see. So, and everyone's interested in methane and sea ice. Well, an earthquake can kill you instantly. I would think more people would be interested in earthquakes, but, you know, whatever. Here's a 4.0 near ADAC. Here's a 1.8 ADAC. 3.7 Accutan. 3.3 Kodiak. So these are all along. And then over here, when we follow this red line around, right at the base of the Juan de Fuca plate, we've had a cluster here at Petrolia, a 3.0 at 3:05 this morning, 2.0 at 6:37 this morning, and a 1.0 at 1:42 this afternoon. So there's something up, definitely. Okay, so let's go back up here to Alaska now and see if there's anything else we need to see. Here was a 3.1 at Big Lake, so we can just see they're peppered around. And here's our cluster at Kobuk and a few up in the Arctic Circle. So those are all small. So we hit the highlights on that, and that's kind of all I'm going to do tonight. Is kind of hit the highlights. Here in Hawaii, we've got 15 here. We've got an uptick. It looks like we've got them down here at Pahala, and here's a 2.3 at Hawaiian Ocean View. Here's a 0.9 at Mauna Loa. We've got a couple over here at Kilauea, and there's a 2.5 on the flank of Kilauea, and we've got a little cluster going on there. We've got two 2.5s and a 1.7. So we've got a couple of them negative depth, so you know what that means. It's up in the chamber from the magma coming up. And then we've got a clustering down here in Pahala. Now with them happening in the ocean, that's indicative that there's a landslide, or, you know, the volcano is doing stuff in the edge of the ocean there. So, you know, it's all connected to the volcano here. Here's a 2.6. That looks like that's the highest. Nope, 2.7. So these are getting up here, and a lot of them in the twos range there. Okay. Let's hop on over to the Caribbean. This is only 6 here today. 3.1 is the highest, and then 2.9. So there's that. Not enough to do any damage. And then lower 48. I don't know why that's going in too far. We've got 778. Okay, 778 minus what we have, 652. I lost my calculator. 652. So we've got 126. So we've got 2.4 in Oklahoma, Okarche. We've got a 2.9 at Pecos, Texas. We've got 0.8 in Utah. Now here's Yellowstone today. Here's another quarry blast at 1.4 at Butte, Montana. And then we've got 5, not counting the quarry blast. So we've got 0.9 Sealy Lake, 0.4, and a 1.1 at West Yellowstone, 1.0 Four Corners, and a 2.1 at Hoback. So that one at Hoback is the largest one. Now coming up into the Pacific Northwest, remember the tremor map. So we've got some more up here in the Seattle area. Here's the tremor map from yesterday, clustering down here north of Medford, Oregon. Now, they actually are showing tremors from today, and they're showing 53 here today. We've got some on the tip of Vancouver Island, and the rest of them are clustered down here north of Medford. So, let's see. So we're probably going to be seeing some earthquakes where those clusterings have been. So we've got 8 here, and 2 are quarry blasts. Here's a 1.4 explosion at Raymond, and a 1.2 explosion at Morton. Here's a 2.0 near Seattle at Cathcart, 1.8 Falls City, 1.6 Packwood, 1.4 Packwood, and 0.5 at Amboy. Now, when you zoom in, this one at Amboy is just south of Mount St. Helens supervolcano, and these 2 at Packwood are just south of Mount Rainier. It looks like it's next to a peak there too. There's no name on the peak. So there's that. Now coming into Northern California, I showed those 3 at Petrolia, 1.7 Pine Hills, 2.4 Shingletown, and that's, we've got another one, we got 3 here, 1.6 at Viola, and 1.5 at Viola. And so these are up right next to Mount Shasta. Shasta Lake is right there. So that's pretty good size for that. And then coming into Nevada, we just have a 0.4 Smith Valley. We've got a few down here in Hawthorne, ones. We've got a few down here in southern Nevada, a 1.8 at Pioche, 0.8 at Alamo, and so on. Now, at Mammoth Lakes, we've got 13 here, and these are 1.8 is the biggest, and now let's finish up this side of California. Here's a 0.9 at Boonville. We've got 32 at the Geysers today. it looks like a 2.0 is the highest one there. Forgot a couple of 2.0s there. Coming on down the San Andreas fault line, here's one off the coast of San Francisco, a 1.4, and a 0.5 at Alum Rock, 1.0 San Martin, and we're following the San Andreas fault line down, 1.0 Pinnacles, 1.8 Parkfield, 1.3 Arvin, and in Southern California, not counting the event area, we've got 37 here today. So let's see if any of these are 2.5 magnitude or higher. Yes, we have a 3.3 at Borrega Springs, so that's getting up there. That came in at 5:57 tonight, right here in this cluster. We've got a big cluster here going on of 9 at Borrega Springs, and here's the 3.3, and the rest are, like the last one was a 1.6, that was at 6:31, but there will probably be more. So 3.3 is getting up there. So we can see it clustering. So the rest are under 2.5 magnitude. Here's a 1.1 at Loma Linda, and so forth. Here's Glen Avon. Let's see what these new ones are doing. A 1.6 Idlewild, 0.5 at Anza, and so on. So the Glen Avon region is showing 11 here today. They're in the 1s range. So that's kind of it. Oh, here's one, a loner, a 1.9 at Stovepipe Wells. So as we look at this event area, it's moving out into these mountains to the west and spreading out to the east as well, and it's not stopping. I mean, 651 earthquakes is nothing to sneeze at. So how many 2.5 magnitude? We had 32 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher, and we saw that for the 4.6 that we had at Coso Junction. We saw that, and the rest are 3s and 2s right there. And then these are a mixture in the 1s, and we've got some even under 1, like this 0.7 at Little Lake. So, but we've got them all sizes, and they're just keeping coming in. So what's going to happen there? I can't say. I don't know. But I just know time is short, and I recommend that people want my detailed analyses of the most interesting data that they join my Subscribestar page, where you can get everything. So it looks like that's it for the earthquakes. I kind of zipped through them, but I need to start resting now. And we just had a 2.9 come down in Roadtown, British Columbia, in the Virgin Islands, and we've seen all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and if you haven't gotten right with God and Jesus, now would be a good time. Time is short, folks. Till next time, God bless you. Go in peace, and good night.